So a friend of mine was asking me, he told me that ICE is hiring here in Tampa, and it seems like there's not a lot of people that want to do the job, from what he said, from like the girl he knows in, I don't know if it was Pasco or out where Orlando is, but you know, we were talking about, I said, yeah, man, I couldn't split up people's families and shit like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, if I could go after people that were fucking here and like raped people or robbed and fucking pillaged and were bringing drugs and, you know, whatever, you know, and it was like a special task force, you know what I mean, which they're not going to just give you what the fuck you want, but I'm not going to get Joe Blow down the fucking street that's been here for 14 years doing his thing and owns a house and has kids and shit because he broke the law entering the country illegally. Well, hate to burst your bubble, and I'm not a liberal in the least. We all broke the law. Our founding fathers broke the law of, you know, civility and humanity, going across the ocean to a place that they had no business being, and you know, fucking killing people that were already there on that land. I don't think that sounds legal in a biblical sense or in a civil sense. If I just rolled up on the island of like fucking Greenland and nobody knew about it, and I, you know, came there with weapons and I said, oh, there were people there, so I fucking killed everybody to take it over, or I put them all in, you know, camps and shit, you know, to get my people over here now. Well, they would call that a fucking invasion, you know, or an act of terrorism. So when I think about it, it's very hypocritical to build a wall to keep people out that are basically, I don't know, I've said this, anybody that's followed my YouTube, I don't believe the word Indian or Native American is, well, I believe the word Native American and Mexican and South American, all of these people, when I see people from Mexico, like especially when I've gone into Mexico, these people, there's no difference between them and American Indians. These people were all the way from Peru, all the way up in, you know, all the way up into Canada. So just calling them a different, just because you word something or write something or portray something or fucking say it enough times doesn't mean that that's what happened and that's what's right. You know, Columbus didn't just, you can't discover shit that was already fucking here and people were living on it. So for me, I think it's kind of hypocritical, you know, to arrest people that are basically my neighbors. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, God is not going to be cool with that. I can just tell you, you know, and that's what's so hypocritical about this. You know, people think, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, if we're going to play this puppet show that it is, you know, obviously Trump's a better choice, but all of this fucking heavy-handed military, blah, 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 I don't, you know, agree with it. This shit should have been done in the fucking 70s, you know, but it would have fucked up the CIA bringing cocaine and everything else into the country. And I'm so tired of the fucking news using the word China for everything. China is basically the word for CIA or the dark part of the government that brings drugs in. The government, our government brought cocaine into America and other shit. So imagine if they brought cocaine here to fucking give it to its own people. Imagine what they're giving you when you roll up your sleeve at Walgreens. Imagine what they're really giving you. You know, the only way fentanyl is getting across the border is by these narco-terrorists that are funded by fucking shell corporations that our government has set up to keep the money coming, okay? It's money. It's not a war on drugs. It's a pretend fucking publicity fucking thing that they pretend that all these narco-terrorists and cartels and, you know, who do you think is funding all these people? We want them to stay in business because you wouldn't have the fucking law enforcement resources. This is how they build their budgets and stuff. This is how they seize money. This is how you have to have a boogeyman.